You're listening to KAOS 89.3 Olympia, Washington. This is Tim from Califone. Don't touch that dial or you're dead. No, just don't touch that dial. You're still alive. Careful driving. Don't be a baby. Love you.
It's the 74th episode of Low Profile. I'm Mark Lee Morrison, and today I'm talking with Tim Rutili, based in LA. He's best known as the founding member of the experimental rock group Califone. Initially a solo project formed in the late 1990s in the aftermath of Tim's previous band, Red Red Meat, they've maintained a presence with a rotating cast over the past 2.5 decades, releasing over 20 albums and EPs. And let me tell you, they rolled deep in the arts. Their previous album, Echo Mine, was written as a score for a dance choreographed by Robin Miniko Williams, and they have 2 albums that are live scores of silent films. There's even a documentary about them from 2011. It's called Made a Machine by Describing a Landscape. Califone has a new album called Villagers, out on May 19th, 2023, released by Jealous Butcher Records. This right here is a deep cut from Villagers. It's called Skunkish.
When did I become the thief in the story that you wear on your face like a mask? In the cave in Mrs. Miller Vine, a winter con hiding in these walls. Just another seance gone.
Tim also has credits as a writer and director. His first and only feature film to date is called All My Friends Are Funeral Singers. It's out there, so you can check that out for sure. We're about to talk about that, as well as the virtues of acting like a baby, the perfect cocktail, Califone's collaborative tendencies, a few of his other musical projects over the years, the best ways to keep oneself engaged on the road, and the perfect burger. I'm speaking with Tim Rutili from his home in Los Angeles. Tim Rutili, thank you so much for being on this program. It's been a bumpy road getting here, and it's nice to hear your soothing voice.
Oh.
Across the wires.
I'm just going to groan. I'll be groaning a lot.
How's your day, man? What's going on with you? How's life?
You know, life is good. I just drove my wife to the airport, and I'm going to go work in a recording studio later today, so it's all good.
Is she still acting?
Yeah, she is. She's going to North Carolina for a film festival for some movie that she was just in. That's like an animated movie, and she did a voice.
Oh, how fun. And are you working on any film projects or scoring?
Not right now.
No.
Just kind of doing band stuff right now.
That's great. So there's a new record that's out as of the release of this episode. Villagers.
Yeah, May 19th it's coming out.
Yeah. And it's a hell of a record, Tim. I gotta say.
Oh, thanks.
You and the crew put a tremendous effort out. I mean, sonically, it's just like really adventurous, which I always expect from a Califone album. But you always find ways to go into new territory.
That's good. That's nice to hear. Thanks.
I really dug the tune McMansions. I think was the first one I gravitated toward.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what your intention is for a first single, but that one like really stuck with me from the get-go.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't know if that's a single. I think we talked about that, but it's I think like 8 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah. It'd have to be.
So it's single length for me, and maybe for you, but not for those people.
Yeah. Not for the uninitiated, maybe.
Yeah, people that have less of an attention span, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I think it just breathes and doesn't feel like it's that long. With this project, you've got such a great relationship with space. I think that's what drew me into it initially. When Califone was first getting started, it was just so much breathing room. And so everything kind of stands out. Everything has a chance to really come and get you right by the ears.
Sunrise bakes you in a pie, creates you, then forgets. My last drug friend, a hybrid gray alien put out to pasture. It's not nostalgic, shipped ashore, the rhythm of the crows. I need you more than you need me.
Yeah, everybody that I play with is a good listener. So there's a lot of like really nice communication that goes on without actually talking when we're playing together. So that's a good thing.
And is it still kind of a rotating cast these days? Or I didn't get
Yeah.
I didn't see the liner notes on the new
this
one.
record.
Yeah.
I could send you all that stuff if you want.
Yeah,
but
sure.
we started here in Long Beach at a studio called Big Ego, and with a band that was Rachel Blumberg and Michael Krasner and Wally Bedouet on bass and Max Naus. And we had Stephen Hodges in on percussion. So we did basically the foundation of the record live with people there. And then over the course of the year, sort of added songs and built it from there, and worked on it in Chicago with Ben Massarella and Brian Deck, who I've been playing with for 30-some years.
Right.
Since Red Red Meat. Yeah, lots of people that have been in and out of this band for several years, and then a couple of new ones.
It's great. So this new one, it was at Big Ego.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you know that place?
You know my buddy Chris Schlarb then?
Yeah, I know Chris. That's Chris's place.
Yeah, we used to hang out. I lived in Long Beach for just over a year, but he was
Okay.
He was the guy who would get me out to, free jazz shows, and I think the only person who's ever convinced me to play softball, which something I would never do. So, yeah, we go back. I just got his book in the mail the other day on recording.
Oh, cool.
I'm planning to have him on the show to talk about that. And
that'll be good.
Yeah.
He's a good one. I love that place. He wasn't engineering. A guy named Tristan Dolce was engineering on those days, and he was great.
Oh, wow.
But I love that place. It sounds and feels really good in there.
Excellent. You mentioned red meat, and like a lot of people of a certain age, I was familiar with that before Califone came into existence. And there's some band member crossover, like you mentioned. And I feel like There's a Star Above the Manger tonight was kind of foreshadowing. Did you feel like that was a transitionary period? It seems like kind of it morphs into Califone from there, like sonically a little bit.
We made like 3 records quickly that year, and it was the last Red Meat record, which was Star Above the Manger, and then we made this record called Loftus with guys from that band Rex, who was Red Meat, the 4 of us from Red Meat.
Right.
And then,
I'd like to play a little bit of Loftus just for the listener here.
yeah, we did that, and then straight into, the end of Red Meat and into the first Califone thing. So it just feels like one really productive year of stuff.
Definitely. And yeah, very distinctive. I only learned this morning when I did a little bit more digging about Friends of Betty.
Oh, Friends of Betty.
Yeah. You must be in your late teens at that point.
Yeah, late teens, early 20s.
Uh-huh.
We were maybe the worst band ever to exist.
Why do you say that? Just looking back?
Just looking back. We were just chaotic and shitty.
How fun was it?
I don't know. I'm not... Sometimes it was really, really fun, and then sometimes it was just like a nightmare tangle of and loud. We were really loud and really bad. And we, a few of us were just learning how to play. But yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Oh no! It's scary Philip Cloud! His name is Bill Scary Clown. He's way into the collar brown. He looks me right into the eye. Oh man, he's bugging my eye. Sack rat and
We could empty out any room. That was our point of pride.
Wow.
We also broke up a lot after shows.
Oh, wow, yeah? Like, this is our last show?
Like, sometimes on stage, there was crying, yelling. I don't know. We were little assholes. So,
But,
happy it's over.
yeah. Well, live and learn, right?
Or just live
Yeah.
and don't
There's
learn.
always that.
Yeah.
I recently watched with my mother-in-law All My Friends Are Funeral Singers. You remember
Wow.
that? It's going back. It never came to the theater over here, for whatever reason. But What a fever dream that film is.
Yeah. I haven't watched it in a while. It's been over 10 years now.
Yeah. Since you watched it.
Since we made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were doing, like after the film was made and the record came out, we did some touring with, where we did a live score.
Yeah.
And mixed audio dialogue from the film and then music that we were doing on stage. And sometimes that was pretty amazing, really fun. I think that was the way to see it. But it had a little like Netflix run and all that. It did all the stuff and did a bunch of film festivals.
That's good. So, but you were playing along to or in place of the existing score? That's kind of part of the film?
And there was room. We had like end cues and beginning cues, and then we can sort of improvise in there too.
Nice.
And then throw some songs in.
That's a really cool idea. I think it's probably the earliest film I've seen where the score is you see it being made on the screen, like consistently, you know.
Yeah, that was an idea. It was to have these people making noise in the house.
The funniest thing for me was the scene where I'm like, oh yeah, Califone is acting in this scene as the band that keeps this poor woman up at night upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We were method acting all the way. We were all in character all the time.
So for the uninitiated listener, maybe on the radio or on the podcast world, I was wondering if we could like maybe try to describe what the stage setup for Califone looks like.
Well, the last shows we played we played in November. Those were the last shows we played, and it was a drum kit. Rachel Blumberg was playing the drum kit. Mm-hmm. Ben Massarella was playing sort of a percussion. You know, he had a floor tom and a snare, and then he's got a box of like goat hooves and shakers and bells and stuff. And then Max Naus was playing guitar, and then I had a little keyboard and guitar, and and Max and I were doing some singing. That's how it was last time. And with different people involved, that's how it usually is. I think the next shows we play, when the record comes out, we're going to add a bass, but it'll be like drums, percussion, guitar. I'll have keyboards and a guitar and a bass.
Good. And do you still have the bedpan as part of the percussion set?
I think he still has the bedpan, yeah. I try not to look at what he's doing.
When I first saw Califone was All Tomorrow's Parties in it was the same same show that Wilco was playing the Yankee Hotel Foxtrot set. So, a little over 20 years ago.
So that was here. That was like in LA.
Oh yeah, I'm from the Mojave Desert, so
okay.
I'm a transplant too. But,
yeah, that might have been at UCLA or USC.
Yeah, UCLA it was. And at the Getty Center. Playing with the books. That was a hell of a show. It was
both those shows I remember as being really fun.
It was kind of intimate too, but in this massive architectural work all around you. It's like it was a cool scene. I felt really artsy kid being at that show.
Yeah. I think, did Paul from the books play with us? I think he might have.
I believe so.
Just left his cello up and just played on our set too. He's incredible. I love the books.
So touring with the Smashing Pumpkins, huh? What was that all about? Was that a cool thing, or? What was it like?
I don't know if cool's the right word. It was playing to a whole lot of people. And I guess that was in the early 90s we did that.
Still love that record.
Jimmy Wine Majestic came out on Sub Pop with Red Red Meat. So yeah, they asked us to tour. We did a whole bunch of touring with them.
Was it like a big break kind of moment?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Was it scary at all, or was it just you're along for the ride?
We were kind of figuring things out. So I remember we kind of figured out how to play to a big crowd of people back then and get everybody's head bouncing and get people sort of jumping up and down. So we learned how to do that. And then we learned maybe that we didn't want to do that. We learned that we can make people boo us really easily and throw shoes and stuff at us if we wanted, just by saying some things. Yeah, learned a lot. But I remember enjoying some of those shows, and I remember, and figuring out maybe that's not the kind of band we wanted to be.
Right.
But realizing that if we wanted to, we probably could. Like, be a rock band and get a bunch of people's heads bopping.
So, did you kind of revisit that energy when you did the Rolling Stones covers?
Oh, that was a different kind of energy.
Once I was a rich man. Now I am so poor. But never in my sweet short life have I felt like this before.
It was at the Hideout in Chicago, and it was like St. Timothy's Day because we knew a whole bunch of people named Tim.
Oh.
So it was a St. Timothy's Day party, and they asked us to do a set of Rolling Stone songs. And so
that was on
we got
commission.
Kind of on commission, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't our idea to do it, and then once we got into it, we got into it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really fun.
A couple of my old friends had the hand-painted CD covers, or like I think one had a painted, one had a Sharpie.
Yeah, that was like the old burn the CDs for tour merch.
And then
time.
Make it on tour while you're in the van, killing time.
Yeah, just in the van, you're coloring.
Yeah, definitely. I remember coloring in cassette jackets that were Xeroxed, you know, and, or we would. I had a bandmate who would knit headphone covers for, like, you know, those old Walkman headphones with the styrofoam.
Oh yeah.
Replace the foam with
Wow,
little
that's
knitted
great.
cozies. And,
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to pass time on the road. Is just do something with your hands if you can.
Doing something
and your mind.
for sure.
Don't show up like mush.
It's hard not to show up like mush when you've just been vibrating all day, and then you got to play a show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You do what you can. But it was nice to do creative work in the van.
So, the post-apocalypse here, or a certain phase of the apocalypse, do you think you're going to be touring any more or less than you have in the past?
We're probably going to be doing short trips to sections of the country, and then possibly doing a little more touring in Europe, if possible. But right now, it's just like, okay, let's go. We want to play in New York, so let's go get some shows around New York. We can make a couple of bucks there and pay for the trip. The thing now is just to try to do it without losing money and without going crazy. Like think about our health and our stress levels and our enjoyment, because I love playing and I love the people that I get to play with, and we're just trying to make it doable, because we've all been through the crazy times of starving on the road.
This is Low Profile, and today my guest is Tim Rutili of the band Califone. Their album Villagers is out May 19th, 2023 on Jealous Butcher Records. Did you bring in a lot of different session workers for Villagers? I know that studio, they kind of operate a little like Muscle Shoals.
Well, Stephen Hodges was the only sort of Long Beach guy that came in and played there on those sessions. And he's a percussionist. He's an older guy. He was like Mavis Staples' drummer for a long time and played on those Tom Waits records. Probably like Swordfish trombones on, those 80s, 90s records he played on. He's great. So he was the only studio ace guy, like from the Long Beach crew that came in. And then, it was a lot of the other people that came in were just friends that we had worked with before, or people that we wanted to work with before,
Did like a song Comedy, for example, was it so kind of soul leaning before you brought it into the studio, or did it come together in the studio?
I had the song for some years and recorded a version probably in 2016, I think, in Austin when I was working on another record. And that was much faster. It still was kind of a swingy song, but it was a bit quicker and had like a loud ass guitar solo in it. And then this time it felt better to just let it breathe a bit and lean into it that way. But yeah, that was a Long Beach song, and we just it was Wally played bass and Rachel played drums. I played piano, Max played guitar, and we just did it live and then added things later.
Comedy coming back from the war. I was a camera, I was a preacher. Comedy is the blood in your mouth. Not a preacher no more. Sound against sound, time against time. Let it leave, don't know how to make it right by you.
It's a beautiful piece.
Thanks. Yeah, the original basic track of it felt really, really good, so we decided to go in that direction with it and not try to do it quicker and not try to add a Steve Vai style guitar solo.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. Did that one come out?
The first one?
Yeah.
The first one came out on this thing called The First 100 Days, which was like a charity, I think probably a band camp thing for charity, where it was the first 100 days of Trump's presidency, and it was money going to Southern Poverty Law Center and ACLU and stuff like that. But that song was one of the days.
That's great. I didn't hear about that project.
So, you probably could look for it and find it.
Yeah, I will.
It might have been Secretly Canadian thing that they put together, or Dead Oceans.
Okay. That was a very intense 100 days for a lot of people, self included.
It was. Yeah.
How many irons you got in the fire right now, Tim? You're a multidisciplinary artist.
I got some things going that I don't feel good talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'd rather just let them happen and then talk about them.
Okay.
But yeah, there's about 3 things going. And one of them is this record, and then there was probably 6 songs that didn't make it onto Villagers. That will be the beginning of another record. So I'm writing more songs and trying to write them while they're coming.
Yeah, bank them up.
Because sometimes songs don't come.
It's true. Yeah, there's a lot of deserts.
Yeah, and I don't mind not writing songs, really.
Mm-hmm. But if they're going to come out...
And it's not happening.
Yeah.
If they're coming, you got to catch them.
Yeah, exactly. So you moved to L.A. from Chicago. I mean, how come?
There was work, and then there was some family stuff going on. And it was just nice to leave Chicago.
Yeah.
And come to this, sunshiny, weird place. And I lived in Ojai for the first bit of my LA time.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It was not bad at all.
Yeah.
It was kind of shocking to hear the quiet and see the stars, but it was nice. And then came to LA.
And you stuck around. Is that lyric on Villagers? I can't recall the song at the moment, but I came back after the death of a family member, and you never left.
Oh, it was in a song called Eyelash.
Eyelash, yeah.
And I was in town for a death in the family, and you never left.
Never left.
And that's kind of a true story, I guess.
You started a story that you could not finish, and I waited, and I waited.
It was like we were talking and you never got to the point. And I waited, and it felt like forever. And in between the time of you talking and me waiting for you to get to the point, I imagined a lifetime of things,
Yeah.
It's just a mind-wandering kind of song, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Do you lyric first often? Or I know a lot of
not usually.
The Califone stuff is pretty collaborative, and the way it sounds and the way songs come together is the impression that I have.
This one, I wrote everything. There was no sort of band jam writing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that song Eyelash is the closest thing, because it did come out of like kind of a noise jam that I was doing with my friend Brad, and he was doing, we had like a drum machine, and he had like modular synth stuff, and I was playing piano, and that song was like, oh, that part seems like a song. So I took it, made the song, and then went back and we recorded it. But yeah, this one was all like writing and not so much jamming. Like some of the songs had open sections for improvising,
mm-hmm.
but everything was written before we went in and demoed pretty solidly.
It just, yeah. You guys seem like you have a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I still love it. But I'm glad we don't do it all the time, because I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I would enjoy it as much as if there was pressure around it to produce, or if we had to treat it like content or something.
That's the worst.
Yeah. But it's hopefully like I'll be able to visit this and make Califone records.
Yeah.
Till I die, Do
you revisit your own material that much, or you just put it out there and like kind of move away?
If I have to learn a song, if we talk like if someone's like, yeah, we should play that song, I'll have to listen to it to learn it. But I don't like put on, I don't know, like if you worked on something for so long. You've heard those songs a million times, and it's weird to listen to it without attaching memories to it of making it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet.
But the process of recording, you know, part of the passion there is that you're making something that you want to hear at least that first time. Like, it's done, and then you hear it, and there's something about that.
There's something amazing about that, and really beautiful and satisfying about that. And if you're not enjoying hearing it when you're making it, then it's probably something you should throw in the garbage.
Yeah.
You know? But after the fact, I don't know, maybe I'll try putting on an old Red Meat record or something. But the last time I heard an old record, I was like, that guy sounds sick. Like, what's wrong with that guy? You know, I don't know. It wasn't that fun.
Yeah.
But I remember it was fun making the thing.
Have you recorded your voice when you had a cold or something, a sore throat? Just did it anyway?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you can distance yourself from that a little bit more, looking back.
A little bit. You'll have an excuse. I was sick.
If you could talk about the Echo Mind project and how that came together.
Okay. Echo Mind was a collaboration with Robin Minnico Williams, and she's a dancer, choreographer in Chicago. And I worked with her shooting, I shot some video for them out here, and then we talked about collaborating again. And then this thing came up to work with her and a mentor of hers named Claire Bataille. So I started sending some loops and ideas, and then she started sending video, like that was mind-blowing, of some dances. And then we just went back and forth until we started getting somewhere with it, and then I started going to Chicago and working with Ben Mastarella and Brian Deck on it, and Robin, and we sort of camped out in 3 different sessions and made that record together. And then it was a performance with the music that was the premiere at the Harris Theater a couple of years ago, right before the pandemic. And then we were supposed to tour with it and play some shows with the dancers, and then, you know, it was COVID time.
Yeah.
So, but we did a streaming show that was pretty amazing to do with the dancers, and then we also did a show last December 2021, I think, in Chicago at Talia Hall.
It's really beautiful, the stuff I've seen from it.
Yeah, it was incredible to do that project.
I don't know a lot about dance, but it's really powerful.
Yeah, like they did a performance of it here last July, and, you know, we just went and watched, and everybody was just weeping. It was just really beautiful, emotional, just from movement and light and sound, and the whole thing is just, it's beautiful and it's deep.
Is there choreography for the whole album?
Yeah, the whole album is a score for the dance piece.
Right,
so
okay.
the performances that I saw that we didn't play, they just rolled through the whole thing. Every piece of music has a piece of dance. Yeah, it was incredible. It was really nice not understanding anything about dance, too, and then just feeling what they were doing and feeling what Robin was doing. She's incredible. Like one of the most creative, like, best artists that I know.
Hi there today. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you're a regular listener, it would mean the world to me to get your support with a flexible monthly donation on patreon.com/lowprofile. This is what greases the wheels on this clunky machine and makes it possible for me to keep doing these long-form interviews with important contemporary musicians. So sign up if you can, because I am so ready for this to be my day job. Thanks also to Olympia independent businesses Schwartz's Deli, San Francisco Street Bakery, Old School Pizzeria, and Schurler Easy Premium Shitty American Lager from Three Magnets Brewing Company for their continued in-kind support. Now, back to the show.
When did I become you? Hearts and bones, even trade, and it made me unneed. The flower echo my head. Mirror yours and forget how I place it all on the face of another, on the face of another.
Do you think you would ever revisit scoring a silent film, like with the Deceleration records?
Maybe. It's not something we're talking about now, but
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or have you done multiple scorings of those? Did you take it on the road?
You know, we did it at a film festival in Toronto. We did to like Harry Smith films.
Yes.
So they curated that, and they asked us to do that, and that was the first time we did it. And then the first deceleration was at Northwestern. Usually, if it's someone's asking, we did one in New York. It was like a Buster Keaton festival with live score musicians. So we did one there, and we did it because someone asked us to do it.
So basically, you can check it off your bucket list at least.
Yeah. My bucket list is probably like naked skydiving, Hawaii. Never went to Hawaii. And then lots of probably drug things that might kill me. I want my bucket list to murder. I want my bucket list to kill me.
Right.
Eventually.
Yeah. You save the riskiest stuff for last.
Yeah, my bucket list is all just creative suicides. So that's what I'm working on.
Well, I can't wait to hear more of it, Tim. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite Red Meat tunes, Chain, Chain, Chain.
Okay.
It's at the age right now, that song, where it qualifies as classic rock, you know?
You're flying jazz, skim your bad temptation loses you again. Hit up black and moving in your blanket, roll cold, silicone to rest your weary on friction.
I guess it's probably 20-some years old.
Right.
I wrote that right when my son was born. So he's 28 now.
Yeah.
I remember writing that song, like coming home from the hospital and working on that song. Yeah. So it's got to be 28, almost 30 years old. He's 28.
So you were still writing new music when you had babies in the house?
Yes. One baby. Two if you count me. I consider myself a big old baby.
That's a good way to... That's a great self-image.
I'm a baby, for sure.
You don't have to feel bad if you need a little help with something.
Gotta ask for help, cry a lot, shit your pants every once in a while.
That's
let
healthy.
it fly.
Yeah, it's part of growing up, right?
Let it fly. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a rock and roll band that played, local bars in the desert, and we pulled that one out every now and then.
Oh, you played that song?
Yeah, and we never
cool.
We never gave you the royalties, and I'm real sorry about that.
Well, you can just
The door sales or
Venmo.
whatever. Drink tickets is
think-
probably all it was.
I don't think you have to pay for that.
No, I don't think you should.
No, I think that's free.
Yeah. Well, next time I have some drink tickets, I'll send them to you. Just
That sounds amazing.
as a good gesture.
And I'll try to redeem them at the liquor store at the corner,
Yeah.
and then cry like a baby when they don't take those tickets and want cash.
Now, what's your Tim's gonna break down and cry drink?
Oh God, it's been a long time since I got drunk and cried.
What do you think would do it?
Probably about 30 years. The last time I did it, I'm really bad at throwing up. Just not. Some people are great at it. I'm bad at it, and I tend to my eyes tear up, and there's really no emotion involved, but throwing up makes me cry. And I remember puking and crying in the snow in an alley when I was in my early 20s, and it was like Jaeger shots, and so it was like black vomit melting snow, and then my hot tears melting snow too. So I guess if I revisited a whole bunch of Jaeger shots in the snow, I could get that
In an alley.
in an alley. I probably could. Yeah, there was a dumpster right there.
I think that would do it to anybody. That combination of elements there. Those factors. That'll do it.
Yeah.
And what do you pair that with? I've read some interviews with you, sort of in prep, so as not to totally rehash everything. And nobody ever asked you how you like your burger.
I like a nice medium rare burger.
Yeah, how's it dressed?
I'm not a big fan of onions. I like a good tomato. A little bit of mayo, some lettuce and tomato, some pickles
Pickles.
on a good burger.
Please.
A good cheese, a good cheddar cheese, maybe would be good.
You're not gonna fuck with just processed American cheese on your burger?
If I have to, I will, but I prefer
Something-
to go classy.
Something that tastes good? Yeah.
Something from cows, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we could switch burgers and be just fine.
What do you got?
I'm a little more. I like mayo, but I like that for my fries. But I'm a fan of extra pickles. I like a provolone or a cheddar is good.
Wow.
And then just ketchup and mustard. And I want just that, but maybe a couple of them, not too big. Bigger than sliders.
That's very avant-garde and classy, I think. That's cool. That sounds great.
I mean, it looks like just your basic cartoon drawing of a cheeseburger when it comes down to
Yeah, but still, you got the provolone, you've got a global medley of flavors happening.
sweet pickles, dill pickles.
Oh, dill pickles.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Well, Tim, I know you got to run. I think we did something here. I think we did something special. I love you, and I love your Califone, and I love all your artwork, all your hard work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, baby up, Tim.
What does that mean?
It's something
it
I'm
means
trying.
Be a
Baby up.
I think baby up.
It's an
Okay.
encouragement.
I got it.
Okay.
It's like be okay Be a fucking baby.
It is. It's just like that.
It was great talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, great talking to you too, Tim.
Take care.
This has been the 74th episode of Low Profile. I'm Markley Morrison, and I've been speaking with Tim Rutili of the band Califone. Their new album, Villagers, is out May 19th, 2023 on Jealous Butcher Records. For links related to our discussion, you can scope out this episode's website at lowprofilepodcast.com, where you can also find the archive of all the previous episodes. Maybe you'd like to hear my interview with Lauren Connors back on episode 58. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you soon.
Documentaries, talk to me in the voice you use to talk to the cat. Principessa della magia, there's some way far. Ignore the descendants. The way your memory is not mine. Another ice age, holiday for black sheep. Drink to the family money, the chemtrails and the holy grails. Light on your Habsburg jaw, prove that you're wrong. Swing blind, swing away, 1,000 tries, million tries. Silent benediction, fiction. Gloria, gloria, spell on carpet. Sick.
I'm Anna Winter. Do you love listening to Low Profile? There are several ways you can support this show. You can sign up for flexible monthly donations at patreon.com/lowprofile at the cost of a cup of coffee once a month. If you join the Patreon community, you can get advance episode releases, behind-the-scenes exclusives, and early access to merchandise. If you can't contribute financially, it always helps if you tell a friend about your favorite episodes, share about Low Profile on social media, subscribe for free on your favorite podcast platform, and give us a rating and review whenever you listen. Low Profile also receives in-kind support thanks to these independent Olympia businesses: San Francisco Street Bakery, Schwartz's Deli, Rainy Day Records, Old School Pizzeria, and Schurler Easy Premium Shitty American Lager from Three Magnets Brewing Company. And most of all, thanks to you, the listener. Thanks to you, the listener. 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 To you, the listener.